Alidocious Mikey McCoy appeared to have like an extra spring in his step that made them all a little bit uncomfortable in the aftermath, and that he seemed all too happy to assume Charlie's position. Look, he's already speaking at Liberty University. Why?
Husband's chief of staff, the amazing Mikey McCoy, the amazing Mikey McCoy.
I just remember it rang like 3 or 4 times. I didn't know what to say. Those are the words that will change someone's life forever, and you have to be the one to say it.
Have you ever noticed how some secrets don't stay buried? How the harder people try to bury them, the more they start to crack through the surface. There's a whistleblower, someone who was inside Turning Point USA, someone who saw things, and what they revealed wasn't about politics. It wasn't about donors. It wasn't even about Charlie Kirk's very public feuds or controversies. It was about Mikey McCoy. I am 23 years old, Charlie's chief of staff, his right hand, his protege, and according to this whistleblower, Mikey was hiding something leadership knew about, something they worked very, very hard to keep from Charlie, an affair with another male staff member. Now, let that sit for a second, because what comes next doesn't make sense unless you understand what was allegedly at stake.
Hello everyone, my name is Mikey McCoy. I had the unique honor, blessing, and privilege of a lifetime to not only call Charlie a precious friend, mentor, but to travel with him literally everywhere.
Mikey wasn't just another employee. People who worked there noticed it. He got special meetings, exclusive access, a level of protection that didn't match his role. The kind of treatment you give someone when you need something from them, or when you need something about them to stay quiet. And here's the thing. The whistleblower says this wasn't gossip. This wasn't a rumor floating around the break room. This was quietly known by the people who handle internal problems. The kind of problems that, if they go public, destroy careers. Because it wasn't just about the affair itself. It was about who it involved and how it would look. Mikey was being groomed, prepared, positioned as a future leader of the organization. So when leadership decided he needed to stay clean, they didn't just protect him, they aggressively shielded him. And they started managing Charlie more tightly, which brings us to Charlie himself. According to the whistleblower, Charlie had been pulling away for months, frustrated, tired of donor pressure, tired of being told what to say, who to platform, who to cut. And there was one fight that allegedly caused serious tension inside the organization. Charlie wanted Candace Owens back. Leadership said no. He pushed. They pushed back harder. And insiders say that conflict never really got resolved. It just simmered, quietly, until it didn't matter anymore, because then came the shooting. You've probably seen the video, the moment it happened. Everyone reacts in shock, chaos, panic, except one person, Mikey McCoy.
Mikey McCoy can be seen plugging his ears and instantly turning around and walking away.
He doesn't freeze. He doesn't scream. He lifts his phone to his ear immediately, like he knew what came next. Now maybe that's just adrenaline. Maybe that's instinct. Or maybe it's something else. Because what happened after that phone call is where the story starts to fall apart.
Right back there. And as soon as Charlie gets taken out, he turns, he's on the phone immediately, and he just walks off. He bails. You can see him right there. He's just taking off. There's Mikey McCoy bailing. According to Erika, he was calling her and letting her know that she needed to go down to the hospital.
Mikey's father said Mikey called him first, right after the shots. That's what he told people.
The minute Charlie was shot, he called me, says, "Dad, Charlie's been shot in the neck. Please call every pastor and pray."
That's the story. Except Erika Kirk went on live television and said something different. She said Mikey called her, seconds after the shooting.
And it was on silent, so I had no reason to look back at it. When I moved my mom, I went back to grab my phone, and that's when Mikey started calling me. He called me within seconds.
Two different stories, same phone call. And that was just the beginning, because then the executive producer stepped in, said Mikey never called anyone, never made a call at all. But Erika insisted he did, and the whistleblower says staff couldn't even agree on which version to stick to. Mikey himself reportedly struggled to keep the story straight. So what's the truth? Who did he call? And why does it matter? Well, it matters if there's a reason he needed to make that call, if there's something he was trying to protect, something Charlie might have been close to discovering.
Right. Thank you, Bernadette. It's crazy. It's just,
Lost for words there, huh, Mikey? That little stutter, that pause, that moment where the sentence never really finishes. That's the kind of thing that makes people stop and replay the clip.
People started looking at Mikey's public tribute to Charlie, the words he chose, the tone, and a lot of people said the same thing. It didn't read like grief, it read like performance. Then the rumors started circulating harder.
The entire car ride, he was grilling me on Aristotle, Socrates, Plato, American history. At the end, he said, "Don't go to college. come work for me instead.
Rumors that had been around for a while, but now people were paying attention. That Mikey was gay, that the affair wasn't just alleged, it was real, that it involved someone inside Turning Point. And people started digging. Social media history, old profiles. Turns out Mikey used to go by Michael McCoy. Then it changed to Mikey. Some people started asking if Mikey was a rebrand, a reinvention. Others started asking bigger questions about the culture inside these organizations. Because here's where it gets darker. There's a claim, an allegation, that political organizations on both sides sometimes hire closeted men, overpay them, then control them through secrecy. Use that secrecy as leverage for things that cross lines, legal lines.
The way she texts to the way she talks. For the first time, I got a little emotional 2 days ago because for the first time when I was talking to her about where the organization's going, how we're going to continue Charlie's legacy, how we're going to really 10x this organization to become what Charlie inevitably wanted it to become. I hearing her thoughts and the way she was talking and breaking things down, I felt like for the first time I was speaking to Charlie for the first time again. And he's ingrained in us.
Ethical lines. Now, is that what happened here? Hard to say. But the whistleblower says Mikey had been acting strangely even before the shooting. 4 days earlier, during a trip to Korea, Mikey filmed Charlie up close, personal, in a way he'd never filmed him before.
So originally, we were supposed to go to the DMZ portion where Trump shook Kim Jong-un's hand. And I'm going to put him on blast, but the United Nations canceled Charlie. Didn't allow us to go.
At the time, it seemed like just a casual moment. But after Charlie died, that clip became one of the first videos released to the public, almost like it was ready, waiting. And then there's the vacation, the first one the Kirks ever took with Mikey and his wife. Mikey's wife filmed everything. Sentimental family footage, sweet moments, Charlie and Erika together. Insiders said the McCoys were especially focused on capturing those moments, filming them, preserving them. Why? What was that footage for? Because after it circulated, something else came out. Something much stranger. Erika's travel history. Over 70 separate instances where her movements allegedly matched 2 foreign aircraft. One Egyptian, another from the same region. Not coincidence, according to the people making these claims. Surveillance. But here's the twist. Charlie wasn't the target. Erika was. Now, if that's true, if any of that is true, it raises questions that don't have easy answers. Questions about who was watching, and why, and what Mikey and his family knew. But the strangest part might be what happened after Charlie's death.
And that he seemed all too happy to assume Charlie's position. Look, he's already speaking at Liberty University. Why? Because he made some phone calls? Have we lowered the standards for what makes somebody a hero in 2020?
Mikey's YouTube channel resurfaced. He started doing speeches, interviews, media appearances, and the push felt sudden. Forced, like someone was trying to build him into something quickly, too quickly. And at the center of that push was Mikey's father, Rob McCoy. Insiders say he has far more power behind the scenes than most people realize. That Mikey wasn't just being comforted, he was being positioned, groomed for something bigger. So what's the motive here? Power? Money? Covering up secrets Charlie was too close to discovering? The whistleblower said something that stuck with people. They said, if the affair is ever confirmed publicly, every lie that's been told since the shooting will suddenly make sense. And maybe that's why Turning Point has gone so quiet. Why, whenever scrutiny increases, the response is silence. Because silence is easier than answers. Silence is safer than the truth. But silence doesn't make the questions go away. The inconsistencies keep piling up. The leaks keep surfacing. And every new detail suggests this story runs much, much deeper than anyone wants to admit. So maybe the real question isn't what happened that day. Maybe it's what was happening long before. And who knew? And what they were willing to do to keep it hidden. Because if there's one thing people have learned, it's this. When the story doesn't add up, there's usually a reason, and the truth has a way of coming out, eventually.